the Nashville 2 podcast with your host, Edward Fox.
G'day, viewers and listeners. It's Ed Fox with Nashville 2. Nashville 2, of course, is the podcast and video cast where we talk to all the awesome people that the Nashville Metro has to offer. From Murfreesboro and Columbia up to White House and Portland, out to Lebanon and Dixon. Yeah, I know. Some of you are saying that's not Nashville Metro. That's too far. Well, that's where I have friends. So that's where I'm talking to them. Like, you know, when you get to my age, you want as many friends as you can get. So welcome to Nashville 2. And my special guest today is Samantha Patton, and she's with SimpliHOM. So you're one of those amazing realtors around Nashville, Samantha, that are helping people get into their homes. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, no, I'm so excited about having you on. You know, you and I met through the Connect Nashville, as I've met so many other guests. And I've been reaching out to a few on Facebook and saying, hey, look, come on my show. And they're like, what's it going to cost me? It doesn't cost you anything. So I'm glad you're here. So tell me, are you from the Nashville area originally?
I am. I'm born and raised in the heart of Nashville. I've lived on the upper side, kind of North Nashville, for the last, I'd say, almost 20 years. We grew up in the Hermitage area before that. So yes, I'm a Nashville native.
Okay. I've been running into a few of you guys, you unicorns, as they're called. So
yeah, we're not so rare.
No, I don't think so. It's like, but I know the influx is only getting faster and faster. So do you deal with a lot? Are you in a good position to deal with that influx in your area of expertise in real estate?
Absolutely. You know, we've got a lot of people coming from out of state, so it's nice to have someone who is local, who knows the area, that can do those virtual tours and also be there to support them where they need it. I know the areas really well because I'm from here. So it's nice to be able to kind of give people that experience as well and let them know kind of what I think of the areas and which areas maybe you might want to stay out of, maybe should go to, that kind of thing.
Right, exactly. And I think when you and I talked before the show, when we had our one-to-one, you had some background on a factory floor as well, didn't you, with automotive?
I did. I used to work at the old glass plant out in West Nashville. Some people know where that's at. It's out on Centennial, but yes, I did. So I've come from the factory.
Okay, so I think that's pretty cool because you can relate to people from all walks of life. You've done a lot of different things and you can help them and you can probably relate to them better than some others can.
I think so too. I think I kind of get the want to have something that you own and start investing in yourself, especially when you are an operator, you're working in that kind of field. Might feel a little limited in your job. I've definitely been there and felt that way. So it's nice to work towards something and owning something and, you know, working towards a better future for yourself. And I definitely get that.
Right. And that was your jump when you jumped into real estate, right? You said, look, I want more control over what I'm doing. And
absolutely. I was tired of working 12 hours a day, working on the concrete and putting my body through a lot of stress. I was just over that. I was over not, you know, having a say over what my job was. So getting into real estate was a huge switch from that. Now I have complete control over what my days look like. I'm my own boss and I don't have to work 12 hours on the concrete anymore. So that's the best. But yeah, that's definitely why I started looking into real estate.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, or if your friends reported it back to you, but I talked to a few of the people around you that are always bragging on you and recommending you and that sort of stuff that you and I both know through Connect Nashville. And they said you are one of the most amazing people and connectors and helpful people out there in the real estate field. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the show. I mean, we've got lots of great friends in real estate, so I'm not saying anything against them, but I was just attracted to the fact that everybody said you were a helper and you go the extra mile. And so I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Oh, well, that's so sweet. Oh yeah, that's very sweet. I try to do what I can to help people, especially you know, and I think they're going to be successful and I think they're great and they just need that little bit of a push of encouragement. I definitely try to provide that. And if I know somebody that I can connect you with, I definitely want to make the connection. So that's very sweet. I can't believe that.
Well, so I always think it's great when when our acquaintances, not necessarily close friends, because they will, they're the ones that help us hide the bodies, right? The close friends, they do all that stuff. But our acquaintances normally that, oh yeah, but she's like blah blah blah, and like there was none of that. It was all like, oh no, she's the awesomest. Like yeah. So that was great.
Oh,
so I also know something about you. You have a TikTok channel. And
I do have a TikTok.
On your TikTok channel sometimes, and sometimes you're serious, and it's just a good mix of stuff on your TikTok channel. So I know it's relatively new. How's that going?
It's going good. I'm trying to post something at least every day. I'm trying to stay relevant. And like you said, try to have a little bit of serious. I want to have some real estate education in there so people can know you don't know what you don't know. But I also want to show everybody who I am as a person. I think I'm funny, and I try to be jokey, and I love my cats and I love my new Jeep. So I try to showcase that as well on my TikTok. And it's going pretty good. I enjoy doing it. It definitely takes the work side out of work.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I could imagine. So, okay. So let's talk a little bit more about work. So you work with the SimpliHOM. Is that the correct name?
Yes, I work for the SimpliHOM office in Brentwood.
Okay. And what's your ideal client look like for you? I know you probably ran the gamut, but in general, who do you like to work with?
I like to work with hardworking people who want better things for themselves. That can be a first-time home buyer who's trying to get their start and trying to figure things out, all the way to somebody who's investing in another, investment property and just needs a little bit of help here in Nashville or whatever it is. I just like working with people who want good things for themselves, and that I can use that motivation to help them. Anybody could be that person.
Right. So if somebody's watching this in California or Wichita, Kansas, where I spent the last 30 years until I moved to Nashville, they can reach out to you and you can help them find that investment property, or maybe they're moving into the area and they need that house and they need to get an offer in before they ever get here. And you can I imagine you could do a walkthrough tour on FaceTime or Messenger.
Absolutely.
Or something. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. We do. I'm on a team as well. So I'm part of the APONTE group. And yes, we help buyers from California. We help investors. We do property management as well. We do commercial. We do everything. So we try to help everybody. And virtual tours, honestly, are kind of the best because, you get to go and have a good moment as an agent driving to the location. Maybe you're by yourself. Maybe you've taken a family member, whatever. But you kind of have that peace before you go, and then you get there and it's just a video tour. So if there was any of that, oh, I'm nervous of meeting this person or whatever, it's a video tour. So yeah, we love doing that.
Well, that's awesome. And we're just in such a great age of technology, and I know it's only going to get better, but still we're in a great age of technology where I grew up building computers, as a kid and doing that sort of stuff. And so I used to say video one, we didn't call it streaming, videos over the internet will be huge. And everybody's like, it'll never be fast enough. And now look at us, Yeah. So, okay. So when you're not working though, and you're not running your TikTok channel and you're not petting your cat and you're not driving your Jeep around, what do you do for fun? Do you have a hidden gem for us today around Nashville? You've lived here all your life. So what are some cool things that maybe people like me that have moved into the area, or maybe we've lived in one part of town and never ventured out to another part of town, even if we've been in Nashville all of our lives, what's something out there that people need to know about?
Well, even if you have been in Nashville for a while, this place is fairly new. It's in East Nashville. It's called Burger Company East, and they've got them kind of all around town, but they just opened the one in East Nashville a couple of months ago, maybe 6-7 months ago.
Was that behind the coffee shop where we went the other day?
Yes. Okay. And especially if you are in the East Nashville area, it's a very walkable type area. Everybody wants to park one spot and walk everywhere. It's perfect. You can walk from the coffee shop, from Bongo to the burger place. And I have been probably 5 or 6 times now. I'm not ashamed to say that. I've gotten a different thing each time, a different burger, and they have all been amazing. I'm just shocked at how, honestly, how great they really have been. I'm not just saying that. They have been excellent.
And there's still some room in there. I was by there the other day, and it's not always hugely packed out. Now, maybe Friday and Saturday nights, I'm not in that area of Nashville, but that might be packed. But the 2 or 3 times I've gone by, they haven't been super, super packed. It hasn't looked like.
No, No, and they've got it upstairs, so there's plenty of space. I've gone there a couple of times for some networking things, and had a good burger and gotten some things done. So it's a really good spot. It's only been open a couple of months, but it's a really cool spot, and especially if you like a good burger, it's a good burger.
Okay, and folks, we'll have that information in the show notes with their website and their address and phone number, maybe whatever Sammy sends us over. Samantha, sorry, what do you want me to call you, Sammy or Samantha? What do you prefer?
Well, I go by Samantha. That's my legal name. My friends call me Sammy, so I'm good either way.
Okay, it's sort of like Ed and Edward. I get called lots of things, but Mr. Ed, the talking horse, was in school. You'd walk down the hallway, they'd go, Wilbur. But these days, they don't know who Mr. Ed is. I was at a drive-through the other day, and she says, "Thank you, Mr. Ed." And my wife just starts snickering. I'm like, laugh it up, fuzzball, like, quit that. So, okay, well, we'll probably interchange. I'm going to go Samantha right now. I like Samantha. Samantha was the witch out of Bewitched back in the 70s, see? So Samantha.
Well, and we actually have the same birthday.
Really?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
not the year, but the day and the month.
Otherwise, that would be kind of witchy if you could look like that after that birthday. So that would be good. Okay, so what was that place called? I've already forgotten. What was it?
It's called Burger Company East.
Burger Company East. Okay, and then how about another one? You got. We'll do 3. Let's just knock them out so we can talk about whatever else we want.
Okay, I'll give you another burger company or another burger place. It's actually in Clarksville. It's Johnny's Burgers.
Okay.
Very good. It's by Austin P. And they do the fried honey buns, which they fry the honey buns in the same grease as the burger. And it sounds not, but they're amazing.
So like honey buns, the breakfast honey bun?
Yes.
That's what they put the burger on?
Well, if you get the fried honey bun, it's just the fried honey bun, no burger, but in the burger grease, and then they'll give you a scoop of ice cream, but it's amazing.
Oh my, I just
so
bring my
good.
insulin pen with me at the same time as I do that one.
You only need one. You only need one.
Okay. One insulin pen or one honey bun? Probably one honey
Maybe both.
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, I haven't traveled out to Clarksville yet. I'm looking forward to doing that. I've had a few recommendations out of Clarksville, so they're included in my Nashville Metro. I know they're not, but they're included. Anywhere within, like, if I can be downtown and drive somewhere in 45 minutes, like most of the time you can get to just about anywhere. Like I like Murfreesboro. I'm over in Franklin, and I'm driving that. I had Dave Weil. I don't know how I keep messing up his name. Sorry, Dave, but he owns the Steak and Shake down on Old Fort Road in Murfreesboro. I mean, they have like 40 different flavors of milkshakes, and I'm sure you can combine them all again and have another. I think you could probably do like 70,000. I'm not a mathematician, so I don't know, but I think you could do like 70,000 flavors. I should bring in some Vegemite and see if they can do a Vegemite flavored milkshake, which would be gross, by the way. It would be totally disgusting, but I'm just saying. So maybe a Nutella milkshake. I'd have to bring my insulin pen. We'll drive down, we'll get a Nutella milkshake, hit the insulin, drive up, get a fried honey bun with a scoop of ice cream, and then just stop by the ER on the way home.
There you go. That sounds like a good day plan.
Okay, so we've knocked out two. I'm sensing a theme, Samantha. You might like some beef. You might have a thing for beef.
I do like a good burger.
Okay.
I do like a good burger. I also love going hiking. So this is not really a hidden gem. A lot of people know about Beaman Park, but if you don't know about Beaman Park, it's a great place to go. It's not treacherous. It's not crazy. It's pretty mild trails, and it's a really good site. It's just kind of nice to get out. That again?
I didn't catch it.
It's at Beaman Park.
Okay.
And it's in like a little bit north of Madison.
Okay. Yeah, my office was in Madison. Once you know the nice places of Madison, I like, who I like in Madison, and I know there's a few of these all over town too, but I just like the way they treated me. Is it Whitt's barbecue?
Oh, Whitt's barbecue is good too.
Yeah. So like I was down here, like I was just investigating buying the business, and I'm like, man, I'm starving. And we're in Madison. The office was on Old Hickory, which Old Hickory is a misnomer because it's not just in Madison. It's all over the friggin', I don't know. Old Hickory, like is all everywhere
It's
I go in
everywhere.
Nashville, there's an old Hickory. So I'm like, I don't know how you guys find your way around. I'm still learning. But I'd gone to Old Hickory West, maybe, and I needed to be in Old Hickory East. And so I finally got back over there, and now I'm starving. I go by Whitt's Barbecue, their little banana pudding, you know, life's uncertain, start dessert first, you know, insulin, dessert. And then I had their sandwich with the coleslaw on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, Whitt is a good
like,
meal.
I think I spent like less than $5 maybe.
Yeah, it's cheap.
The sandwich, yeah. It's like,
yeah, we can go. 3 people can go and eat at Whitt's for under $15.
yeah. And now I don't know where they're out of. Are they a Nashville institution, or are they out of somewhere else, out of the state? Or
I honestly don't know for sure, but if they were a national institution, that wouldn't shock me.
Okay.
They're amazing, and we love them.
Google's your friend, folks. Google's your friend. You can Google that one. Whitt's Barbecue. WHITTS, maybe? Whitt's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, you got me talking about food. It's like we're recording this on what time is it? It's 1:00. So it's about food time. So for me anyway. Okay. So we've knocked out a couple of burger joints. We've knocked out a what was the last one we did? We did the hiking to get rid of all that extra calories we've done. And, you know, since you've grown up and you've lived around Nashville your entire life, is there any other things? I'll let you get a bonus. We've got a bonus hidden gem that I know I only set you up for 3. So I'm like, if you can't think of any, that's okay. But
well, I mean, this is not in Nashville, but I'll highlight Chattanooga because it's not far. But the aquarium in Chattanooga is a lot of fun. If you haven't, it's a day trip. You could drive out there in the morning and go to the aquarium, and it's a good aquarium. It's a lot of fun, and then drive back in a day. It's not
okay,
far.
well, fair enough. We're actually doing a couple of trips to Chattanooga in the next month or 2, and we're going out to Knoxville next month, which is what, 3.5 with the time change.
Yeah, it's about 3.5. Yeah, it's a good time to be going out to those places. Chattanooga is beautiful at this time of year.
Well, awesome. Yeah, I'm enjoying. It reminds me a lot of Australia. Nashville does. It's just that after 30 years in Kansas, you just drive straight roads, right? Oh, you might go up a little bit like that, and then you're just driving straight roads. And I love the people in Kansas. I mean, you know, you see lots of wind farms, and you see lots of cattle, and you see lots of wheat and corn. And as long as it's not snowing and windy, then it's okay. But like the wind chill factor in Wichita during January, February, nah. I was down here the other day, and I wear my hat everywhere, and people say, "Oh, watch it, it's windy today." I'm like, psh, you know, it ain't windy. Like I can tell you, windy is in Wichita when I had to tie my hat down while I'm playing cricket to keep it on my head.
To keep it on.
Yeah, that's right. So okay, so
it's not that bad here.
No, it's really not. Man, this camera, I bought this cheap HD camera from China. I think it's an ADHD camera though. It should say ADHD on the side because it can't focus. It can't focus. That's my dad joke for the day.
Well, I didn't know if it was me going extra blurry at times, and it's kind of hard to see without my glasses.
Without your glasses on. Yeah, it's funny. I took mine off the same way. I don't wear them, but I don't have a lot of glare because I've got some soft what are they? I don't know. It's like the see-through stuff that breaks down some of the light. You can see there that I've got a lot of light. So I've got an umbrella over here and a light box up there and a light box there. And I'm just sitting in my office. My wife's like, "You've taken it over with your green screen." No, that didn't make any effect. Like, what's behind the green screen? I'll let you behind the curtain. That's the extra bedroom. There you go, right there. So you see him behind the curtain, like where the wizard lives. So, yeah, it's funny. In Australia, you say you're from the land of Oz, and people get confused. You're not from Kansas. Well, now I can say I'm from the land of Oz, Australia, and from the land of Oz. So I'm from both. So I go by Aussie Fox, AUSSIEFOX on most of my gaming. But when I moved to Kansas and I started doing online gaming in the early 90s and late 90s, I changed it to OZE, Oz for Kansas, or for Australia, E Fox, Aussie Fox. And then one of my kids stole that handle, and so I've never gotten it back. So there you go. That's more information than you needed to know, folks. I hope you're enjoying this strange episode of Nashville too. Like, we're all over the place. And somebody will message me and go, "No, Edward, you're always all over the place." Well,
That's okay.
That's what you get. So, Sammy, what's some good tips for people that are thinking about buying a house in Nashville right now? You got any insider tips for us?
I do. You want to start early. You want to start prepping early, whether that's getting your credit right, getting your savings right, getting your down payment. They have a lot of good programs for down payment assistance, and sometimes it might be better for you to use the money that you have towards, other things than down payment. So you maybe want to qualify for that or see if you can qualify for that. But yeah, the biggest thing is start early and do it. You don't know where you stand until you apply. And you can just apply with somebody just to see kind of where you stand and then decide, oh, I don't like that, or I want to work on it and not move forward. That's always an option. But I tell even my close friends that I cared very deeply about, I tell them, you just have to see where you stand, because if you don't know where you stand, you don't really know what you should be working on to get to where you want to go. And that's the biggest kicker. If you start working on something that's really not going to have too much of an impact and you spend all your time over the next year working on that one thing, and then you get to, okay, I think I'm ready, and you apply it. Oh, well, it was something else. Now you got to start all over. So start early and just see where you stand. Just see where you're at.
Yeah. And folks, if you haven't listened to the last episode with Michael Morrow, the guy that does the credit restoration, you Michael, and he's so great. And the knowledge he has is so, we couldn't share. I think we actually went 50 minutes on a 30-minute show. We just talked about so much stuff when it came to credit and understanding how to not just repair, but actually restore your credit,
I bet that was a great show. I'm going to have to go back and listen.
Yeah, it was, because, he didn't even talk about it. We talked about it offline. I'm like, oh, dadgummit, we should have recorded that. Now I'm sounding old, dadgummit. But it was talking about the difference between, when we repair a car in an accident, would you rather have a repaired car, or would you rather have a fully restored car? Mm-hmm. We know that a fully restored car is going to be better than a repaired car. And so that's the same thing with credit. There's some people that do credit repair, but Michael does credit restoration and restores the credit and teaches you how to keep it there. So anyway, so we don't have to do an episode for him. He can send us a big fat check maybe for advertising. But I think it just tees up with what you were saying, is that be prepared. Like, if your credit sucks, like, do something about it now. Get with Michael and restore your credit, so that when you need a house, you can come to Samantha, and say, hey, I need help getting a house. But I think Samantha is definitely one of the top real estate agents in the Nashville metro, and you should definitely check her out. And we'll have all of her contact information and all of that stuff. But Samantha, if they're driving along and they're like, no, I got to call her now, what should they do to reach out to you?
You can call me on my cell phone. I answer the phone if you call me. If I didn't see that you called me, I'll call you right back. And my cell phone number is 615-881-3559. Super easy.
615. Say that again.
615-881-3559.
Awesome. Great. And so if they're driving along, have the person next to you dial that number. You don't want to be messing with your phone while you listen to the podcast. So definitely do that. Or stop by a Whitt's or one of the other places we talked about and pick up something to eat, and then call her. Don't call her with a mouthful. Like, swallow what you're eating first before you call her.
You can finish it.
Yeah. Samantha, anything else you want to cover?
No, I think I think you've covered it.
Awesome. Well, hey, it was great to have you on.
I really appreciate you having me on. Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. You beat me to it. Like, it was great to have you on the show. So, folks, listen up. Make sure you subscribe and follow. Make sure you find Sammy on TikTok. I'll put her information in the show notes for her TikTok channel. And you can even follow my TikTok channel. I got like 500 dad jokes up there now. So definitely give us a follow. The glasses don't do too bad with me. I don't have a lot of that glare on. Yeah, you get hit right across the screens, like with the glare. So yeah. Okay. Hey, good to see you, Sam. Thanks.
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it.
This is the Nashville 2 podcast with your host, Edward Fox.